Hi, this is the voice of Heidie Calero with another capsule on economic analysis of the Puerto Rico economy. Don't forget, those of you who want to follow our economy, we have the voice of Heidie Calero in YouTube. Every Thursday we record these 5 to 7 minute capsules on the economy of Puerto Rico. Today, the Governor Wanda Vazquez announced the 4th executive orders regarding the pandemic of COVID-19. And it's flexibilizing some of this closing of certain businesses, such as restaurants, which now were reduced to 25% of their capacity. Now they have been increased to 50%. The same thing for the gyms and the beaches. They are opening, even if it's only the casinos, 25% of their capacity, which were closed before. The lockdown on Sundays, it's lifted, so now shopping centers can open, the supermarkets, which were open on Sunday, which were also closed on Sundays, everything will be open again. The curfew will stay, it's lifted, it continues from 10 in the evening to 5 o'clock in the morning, but now you can go to a restaurant and have a drink after 7 o'clock in the evening. It seems that the virus now has a new time. Instead of 7 o'clock in the evening, it will become really like a Frankenstein at 10 o'clock in the evening. But at least it gives you another respite for the restaurants that can now have 50% of their capacity, and clients can enjoy some of their drinks instead of having to drink so quickly. Let me show you the cost to the economy of all these executive orders, because today the governor said something very important, something we have been saying for a long time, since March of 2020. And she said, the number of infections has not come really from shopping centers or from restaurants. It really is coming from family gatherings in their homes. And there the police cannot go and interfere with these people. So it's the responsibility of each one of us to see that these gatherings really keep the use of the mask, as well as the social distancing and the washing of their hands. That is the responsibility of everyone. Yet, this admission by the governor indicates that it should not have been closing the shopping centers, the restaurants, and other sites like the beaches, the gyms. Why? There was no indication that all the infections would be coming from these sites. So you inserted a terrible blow to the Puerto Rico economy. And that's the object of this capsule. Notice here, as she said, the Puerto Rico economy was growing in fiscal year 2019, which runs from July 1st of 1 year through June 30th of the next year. Well, this is 1.5% real GNP growth compared to negative 4.2 fiscal year 2018. That's the year of Hurricane Maria, which was in September of 2017. So noticeable, the growth. Notice what now the forecast has been for the Puerto Rico Planning Board. This is the orange line, negative 5.4%. This is the forecast for the fiscal year that just ended in June 30th, and we don't have yet the official figures. Worse than even Hurricane Maria, and Hurricane Maria was devastating for this economy. And this is the forecast for 2020 also of the Oversight Fiscal Board, which certified the fiscal plan for the Commonwealth government and says negative 4%. Almost the same as Hurricane Maria. So no doubt about it, the Puerto Rico economy is hurting, and it's not going to be easy to recover. Notice the second graph. Now this is in terms of jobs. Well, in 2019, true fiscal year positive growth, as we said before, we gained 22,800 jobs compared to 2018 when we had Hurricane Maria. And notice what has happened in 2020. From July 1st of 2019, the second half of this fiscal year, from January 1st through June 30th, Notice, we have lost 29,400 jobs. We wiped out the gains and even further the reduction in loss of jobs. And this is only the official figures. We know this is underestimated. It's going to take a long time because many of the small and medium businesses that have closed because of this shutdown, they will not be able to survive. They don't have enough cash reserves to even open. And without any federal stimulus, it's going to be extremely difficult. Many of them are even closing as we speak. And then finally, the third evidence of the blow to this economy is to the government. And this is only to the to the revenues of the general fund. And this is from 2018 through 2020. The general fund received in 2018 fiscal year $9.3 billion. In 2019, the year after Hurricane Maria, $11.4 billion. And in 2020, notice, $2.1 billion less, $9.2 billion. So it's an 18% decline compared 2020 to 2019. Which are some of the items? All these items that I'm going to show you represent almost 93% of the general fund. So of that $9.2 billion, notice the sales and use tax. If people were told to stay at home, the demand went down. Maybe Amazon online shopping really went up. Well, none of that money comes into Puerto Rico, and very few of those companies really charge the sale and use tax. Well, notice it's a reduction of almost $700 million, a reduction of 22%. This is not going to be easy to recover. In Law 154, that's the tax that is charged to foreign companies, mostly U.S. companies, on their exports, and which they take credit against the federal taxes. Well, the U.S. Treasury has been saying, hey, we are not going to allow these companies to continue receiving a credit against the federal taxes. Puerto Rico government, give us a plan as you are going to transition off Law 154. That has not happened yet. And even those, Law 154, we see that it went down from $2 billion to $1.8 billion, almost $200 million less in exports, an 11% decline. And notice here, this is income taxes, personal income tax, corporate income tax, limited partnerships, all those that file for income taxes, from $5.4 billion in 2019 to 4.4. That's almost $1 billion. That's a reduction of 18%. Remember, the general fund is the one that the government of Puerto Rico uses to provide essential services. The payroll of central government employees. Well, you know, with all this reduction, it's going to be tough to continue offering essential services at the same level, or even sustaining the levels of government payroll and government jobs, which, by the way, since March 15, many of those jobs, government jobs, had not returned to work. As of September 15, with a new executive order, they were ordered now to return to their public departments and jobs. And excise taxes, especially on alcoholic beverages, you would think with COVID-19 and nothing else to do, you would still see an increase in beverages. Well, no, it's almost 40 million lower than in 2019. That's a reduction of 15%. And even the electronic lottery, at least trying your luck, well, from $86.4 million, it went down to $17.7 million. That's a reduction of almost 80%. No doubt, the government of Puerto Rico and the economy of Puerto Rico has hurt significantly because of this pandemic and the executive orders. Until the next capsule, stay safe.